Welcome to day 506 of our Web3 journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein, here with my twin brother Brian. And remember, these videos are being sponsored by NFT Tech. They are an investor in DeSoFi. And DeSoFi is a mobile app built on the DeSo blockchain. It's kind of like Twitter. So, Brian, I noticed we're kind of like in light and dark mode today with our t-shirts.
Yeah, what do you know? It wasn't even planned.
Your dark
I
mode,
like
I'm light
dark
mode.
mode.
Yeah, I kind of do too. I couldn't find my dark mode shirt today though. Anyhow, stolen NFTs are a problem within the space. What is OpenSea doing now to kind of change how they deal with these stolen NFTs?
So, as of, I guess, yesterday, the way they would deal with a stolen NFT, if any individual reported to them that NFT XYZ was stolen, they would basically block that NFT, and that NFT would not be able to be bought, sold, or transferred to any other account. And it'll be pretty much like blacklisted from the site. But OpenSea realized that this probably wasn't the best route to take because there could be false reports. And I'm sure there were plenty of false reports. So starting yesterday, they decided that they are now going to implement a new policy where if a report is sent into OpenSea about a stolen NFT, that person that sent in that report would also have to file and send in a police report within a week, 7 days of that initial report. If the police report is not sent in within 7 days, that NFT would be unlocked, I guess you could say, and it would be able to be transacted with once again. And I think this is a good idea because nobody is beholden to just sending a report to OpenSea. But if you send in a false police report, that's actually a crime. So I like this move. I think it's going to better protect uh, buyers of NFTs as well as sellers of NFTs. They definitely need to block stolen NFTs because dealing with stolen goods is actually a federal crime here in the United States. But this is definitely a move that they should have probably made several months ago.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good move. So moving on to the NFT space on DeSo, on the DeSo blockchain, we've talked a lot about supernovas in the last couple of weeks because as of, I guess it's been about 5 or 6 days now, the Supernovas website has gone offline and people are questioning like what happened? Is the site done? Is it server issues? What's causing the Supernovas website to essentially vanish from from the internet? And finally, the co-founders of Supernovas, replied to some community concern, and they did say that for now they made the hard decision to shut down Supernovas uh, while they're planning on what to do next. So it's not a permanent shutdown, at least not yet. Uh, but they are shutting it down because they have to decide what they're going to do. They said the reason is that the DAO that they created, the Supernovas DAO, just doesn't make any money on the node and it doesn't have any meaningful way to monetize the transactions happening on the node if they wanted to even. So, I think it's mostly monetary concerns. They just don't have the money to keep it up and running. They don't have the funding. The DAO isn't really doing anything to bring additional funding into them. They said they have a better chance of surviving if they use the money they have. I guess they still have some money left to develop something new. So I don't know what that means. Does it mean, they're taking the website down and then they're going to create some new type of app, maybe something else along the lines of NFTs, or maybe even something along the lines of, Web3 and kind of transfer that DAO into that space? I don't know. The closure of Supernovas doesn't have any impact though on your NFTs if you have minted NFTs on Supernovas. It's all on chain. That's what the one great thing about social media on the blockchain. One great thing about NFTs on the blockchain is that you are not beholden to the platform you mint on, the platform you sell or buy on. You still have your NFTs, and they can be viewed on other nodes such as NFTZ.me. Uh, they also replied to a post by Clay Oglesby saying that they are aiming for a relaunch. I'm not sure what that means. Like I said, maybe they plan to rebrand, maybe they plan to create an app that does something else. I don't know. There's more details haven't yet been released on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely sad to see them go. I know a lot of people love supernovas. A lot of people minted their NFTs from DeSo on supernovas. Uh, it, I think it says a lot about the DeSo ecosystem right now. We don't have a ton of daily active users, so it's not easy to keep a node up and running when you do have a bunch of variable and fixed costs. Of course, if you're building something like Supernovas, you need developers, you need a team that can be there, and you also need to pay server costs, and server costs do add up over weeks and months, and you do need money to continue to operate. So I definitely feel for Supernovas. I know that the team worked really hard on what they put forward, and hopefully we see them reemerge, maybe in a different way, but reemerge sometime here soon.
And I think it's hard when you don't have coders as part of the founding team as well. I think that makes it difficult because every little bug you have, every little change you need to make, every update you want to make, you likely have to pay a coder to do so, unless you have them on salary, but that's a whole nother expense. So, you know, it's there's bumps in the road, and the daily active user on DeSo have been low, and I think Supernovas was counting on DeSo picking up a lot sooner than it did. I think they're counting on it remaining more consistent than it did. So I think that played a major role in them maybe running out of funding. I don't know the funding situation up and down, but it sounds like they just kind of ran out there.
Yeah, you hear the phrase too early, and I think this could be a case. They were too early. They built this amazing app on the DeSo blockchain, but DeSo wasn't really ready yet. And hopefully this changes soon, and maybe they can reemerge into like a more exciting, more action-packed DeSo as we move forward and over the next several months.
Yeah, and so moving on, DiamondApp, I guess you could say that's the Twitter of Web3. They have taken away character limits. So previously you had a limit. I don't. Do you remember how many
It was like
characters you could?
520 or something around that.
Yeah, you had a character limit, and once you hit that, you couldn't. You had to make another post in the thread. Diamond has officially removed that character limit, and jokingly they said this one is for you, Sandy Rose. And of course, those DeSo OGs out there know that Sandy Rose is known for her long, lengthy post on the DeSo blockchain.
And I'm going to do a celebratory push of this red button for Sandy Rose and for everybody because I really think this is needed.
So yesterday, some excitement. Dylan Jagger Lee, he's kind of like the community manager type guy for DeSo. He released a GIF or GIF, whatever you want to call it, of a new DeSo promo video, and I must say it looked pretty awesome. He said it's a teaser of the teaser of the promo video, so it was just like he just took his phone and recorded a little bit of it from the teaser video, but it looks good. I think what they're on to is looking really good. And he said, all I can say is we're almost ready to take over.
Yeah, and moving on, mermonster by Everlyn, number 0001 sold to James Barrett for 30.3 DeSo. Number 0002 also sold for 3.01 DeSo to M Her. And point zero zero or number 0003 dropped this morning at 8 a.m. For a 2 hour auction. So that should be ending in about an hour now. Probably by the time this video is posted, it's going to be almost over with. So jump over to that if you still have some time. But mermonster's doing a great job. They have a really unique strategy, kind of a utility in that the first mermonster actually gets a royalty from every other one, and it's a whole framework that they put out. I love what they're doing. These pieces are really cool, so check them out. I'm putting some up on the screen as we speak.
Yeah, and you can check them out at mermonster.nftz.me as well.
Yeah, so the top NFT bidders over the last 24 hours, according to NFTZ, they are as follows: NFT Pets, BitClout FR, FP Fund, Just in Time, Meta Philosopher, M Her, My Key Stew, MJL Michael, Shady Acres, and James Barrett. And the top Diamond Day creators over the last 24 hours, thanks to our friends at Altum Base, they are as follows: our good friend Brutal, who's usually brutal, followed by William Laurent, who's an amazing writer, doing some pretty big things in the Web3 space, and just an amazing artist as well. Followed by M Her, Now and Then, Krasenstein Us, Nagardis Hingu, Nordian, Happy Rabbit, Shady Acres, and Miami, Japan.
Congratulations, and that's all the news we have for today. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we will talk to you tomorrow.